Woo-hoo-hoo. We are live. Thank you all for tuning in. I want to say first and foremost, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, do all of those crazy YouTube things that you kids love to do today in 2021. I'm your host, Charlie Mac. Welcome. You can find me on Instagram, Charlie Mac NYC, BKLYN. You can get me on LinkedIn and all those other crazy social media sites. We got a really good group today. We got some really good content. We're actually going to focus around the clubs on Instagram. So hello, everybody. We will be getting to the chat questions later on in the session. So if you have questions, please feel free, put them in the comments. We will go through them live. We'll also go through them later. If you're going to watch this later on the bus or train to work or school, we will definitely get at them. So I'll talk a little bit first about me. I'm Charlie Mac from Brooklyn. I think you know that. I help Tommy Stacking NYC with the IG Gold Club. We'll talk about the IG Gold Club, how it was created, why it was created, as well as the Platinum Club. We're going to talk about the Slab Club, grading services, customer service, advertising. It's a whole team dedicated to promote this hobby. And I know for some it's a hobby. I know for some it's an investment. So we'll talk a little bit about the Gold Club. I was interested in getting gold. I never had enough money to just go out and buy an ounce. For the most part, I was stacking gold small, fractionally, 1 gram at a time. Slowly but shortly, flip a piece there, flip a piece there, and then boom, went to the 5 gram. And then, you know what? I was like, I'd love to have a piece of gold. I don't have enough money to buy a piece of gold, so I can do it small in 1/10 of an ounce piece. And we'll talk about this and what we do in the Gold Club a little bit later. But we started the clubs for the most part in the beginning of 2021. And at that time, gold prices, as you see, a little over $1,800. The beginning of the year, silver was around $27, and platinum a little over $1,000. We're not going to get too much into spot price and things like that, but just an idea of where it was in the beginning to where we are now. The main goal is to just kind of keep moving forward. And everybody stacks a little differently. Everyone's got their own opinions on how they want to stack or how you should stack. You got to take a really good look on what you're doing, not the next person. So I got a little bit of everything. I like to diversify. The IG Gold Club for me, I was like, you know what? I want to get 1/10 ounce piece every month to get to 1 ounce by the end of the year. I got a little overzealous. I got my 1 ounce, right? We're in the last quarter of the year. I got my 1 ounce nice and slow. Some months I got 2 of them. Some months I've got 3 of them. But I met my mark. I met my goal. Sold some things to get that back and forth. But one of the great things that stackers like are slabs. Beautiful pieces, graded coins, numismatics. I'm going to talk a little bit about my dear friend, Delorean. You can find him on Instagram. It's a great, kind soul. Delorean, I want to thank you for jumping in here today. Delorean, tell little people about yourself, where you're from, what you do.
Well, I'm Delorean. I'm Delorean Senior on Instagram. Delorean underscore Senior underscore on IG. I am the admin for the Slab Club. What got me started with this club is it's about the safest way to buy a coin nowadays with all the fakes running around. But you do have to be careful with the slabs too. Tommy was asking in one of his lives one day, and I'm like, sure, I'll do it. It's nice and fun, especially getting to meet new people that's not following me, and just reaching out to people that do follow. We most of the time get a slab maybe twice a month. It's not as frequent as the Gold Club, but when we do get them, they are They are fire slabs. And it's all brought to us by our fearless leader. The commissioner, Tommy, Stacking.NYC. We all have Silver Degenerates merch. We have these are customizable. This is my slab. This is the Slab Club.
Represent.
If you guys can see it. But we just just brought the groups together. You get a better deal buying in bulk. So we try to give people the best deals possible. And when stacking, I guess, is as Charlie Mack said, we have fun.
We definitely have fun. Absolutely, we do have fun. And for those who really don't know, I kind of put this YouTube page together. I wanted to show off some cool stuff that I get. And then I had this bright idea in my head. You know what? Let me do some interviews just to get to know people in the community. And then that kind of branched out. It's like, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we do behind the scenes, especially for the clubs. We're not going to get into like specific numbers and pricing of things. But within the Gold Club, we have 16 groups. Each group has about, I think, 25 to 30 people. So there's a lot of people that, are interested in gold right now. And sometimes people change. They like gold, they like silver, they like platinum, they like silver, they like gold, they like slabs. So diversifying your stack is important. You get a little bit of everything. And I've gotten a bunch of slabs over the years. This is a great way. 1 month, let me focus on gold. The next month, maybe some platinum. The next month, some slabs. I know we had a really nice slab offered yesterday. But Delorean, what are some of your favorite slabs? What do you really like? What's one piece you can't live without? And show us what you got. I know you got some goodies behind the scenes.
Sorry about that. I muted myself. But one that I look at almost every day is this. This chunker of a slab. Can you guys see it? I guess I'm too close. This chunker of a slab here, this is amazing. I love this slab. But we I'll show you guys some of the offers that we had in the Slab Club 2001 MS69. We have a hashtag Silver Degenerates. This is the Type 2 MS70. We also do numismatic. We have some 90% MS63s, 1881.
Beautiful, Morgan.
And what we had, this is from our guy, Stacking.NYC. Oh, wait, one second. Let me show you ones that I can't live without. Ones that I can't live without. My own slab.
Oh, nice. Very nice. You got to show that one off.
These are my own slab. These are lovely. Some of them was mintage of 10. Some of them had mintage of 50. But we had fun. Me and SAC had fun putting those together. Now, the ones that I just got that I absolutely love. You cannot beat that. That's amazing.
To
the moon, Stacking.NYC. You cannot beat that. That's amazing.
So, Delorean, I got a question that just came up from Rob. He'd like to start collecting slabs. What would you recommend is a good piece to start out with for someone who's starting to collect slabs?
Slab, everyone has an ASC. Everyone has a Silver Eagle. That would be the fastest one to get, I would say. And the easiest one to get in the slab. And, with just the ASC, if you can get a numismatic, get a Morgan, 1881, 1880. I would try to shoot for MS, but AU is fine too. They all grade different, but just to have it protected, to keep the luster and the coin in semi-perfect condition is about the best bet to go. Is I would say ASC or some numismatic.
All right, nice, good choices. I personally have a few of those. I love the Morgans and Peace Dollars slabbed. I think they are two of the beautiful pieces of history. I always thought, Morgans, cowboy coins. peace dollar, wartime coins. So I have a few of those. I'm very proud of. I've also picked up a few American Silver Eagles. I have a handful of those. I started a set. I'm going to finish that set. I got the Type 1 and Type 2, so I enjoy those as well. Delorean, folks, if you don't know him, check him out. Make sure you follow him on Instagram. Great guy. Great games as well. Make sure you check him out. Loves bingo. Chance for you to have a little bit of fun.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of fun, probably one of the most handsome gentlemen on this group, we've got Jake, Mr. M.I. Stacker, who is amazing. I think he's fighting with his mute button again. He's been like giving it a left hook and a right hook.
How's that, guys? A little better?
He's got the looks and the most amazing voice.
I thought you were going to Tommy for the most amazing looks there.
So you are a very, very special piece to this group because it's new to me. I don't know Platinum as much as I should, I admit. But you help with the Platinum Clubs on Instagram, the IG Platinum Club. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what got you started with the Platinum Club.
So my IG handle is mi_stacker. My name is Jake. Honestly, what got me started the Platinum Club was working with Tommy on my first couple of silver pieces. Talking with him, just getting some, really good information from him. He wanted me to look out the different metals, platinum, gold, silver, platinum caught my eye. I really liked platinum. So I want to, focus in more on it. And I felt like by taking over the Platinum Club, it would force me to have information for people to reach out for new questions. So when I took the Platinum Club, I took the responsibility. Tommy was gracious enough to, give me that responsibility, and I wanted to make sure that I could answer everyone's questions on it.
Nice. So. Yeah. And it's funny. I think for the most part within this community, everybody wants to feel like they are a part of something. Everybody really wants to contribute in some special way. And it's funny, I was reading something because I'm getting into CB radios and ham radios again. And that was kind of like 20, 30 years ago. And like that community was just your extended family. And that's kind of like what the groups have become as well. We have a really big extended family. So for Thanksgiving, I guess we're all going to Tommy's house. He's cooking.
I'll see you there.
So, when we talk about platinum,
100%.
Platinum looks a little bit like silver. So some people can get confused. What are some of your favorite platinum pieces? What would you recommend to somebody who wanted to start collecting platinum?
So I brought a little bit, different price points, actually. It all depends on, how you want to start your budget wise. Like you said, you start stacking grams. So here is a Pamp gram platinum.
Nice.
You can see that right there, right? So once you get your 1 gram, like you said, then you have your 2 gram Liberty. If you like your 2 gram, you get your 1/10 Britannia, compliments of the Platinum Club. Once you get the 1/10, of course, you gotta go to the quarter APE. So it all depends on where you want to start at and where you want to end at. My goal is to get bigger as I go, but I'm gonna keep my small pieces as well, just to have a variety of different ounces or different denominations of platinum. So I have a little bit of everything.
Nice.
I don't think you have to stop at 1 gram or 2 grams or 1/10 or stack your own pace. That's what it's all about. Tommy preaches that every week. So that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head on stacking at your pace. I know there are times when I'm like, yo, that looks cool. That looks cool. I want 2 of those. Let me get 3 of that. And then I got a lot of overtime that I got to do.
Right.
One of the platinum pieces I love, which blew my mind, was the 1/10 Kookaburra.
Yeah, those are nice.
Beautiful, beautiful piece.
That was a first time for them, right, Tommy?
Yeah, absolutely. Limited to 15,000 was the first time the Perth Mint did a BU or business strike platinum Kookaburra. They had done them in 1/10 in the proof version, but never in the business strike version. So it was definitely a first, and it's been really popular.
Deal straight from you, Tommy. That was awesome.
Get them from a trusted source. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, how you can join the groups for those who are interested. Some of you who are watching probably know a little bit about stacking, but maybe you're preaching or trying to get a friend or family member started as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to join the groups, and there is no obligation. You want to join, do it. We'll talk a little bit about our next subject because I think a lot of us do collect. Some of us like to get stuff graded. Which brings us to my dear friend who I've been bugging all week to get answers on my slabs, and I cannot wait until they get here. I know they're en route. I promised this gentleman I would not ask for the grades. I don't want them. Sean is a great guy. He said, just be ready. Sean, thank you, Peg Leg Silver. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got started.
Well, again, my name is Sean, Peg Leg Silver. I'm from Indiana. This is a hobby that I've been doing since I was young. It kind of got passed on to me from my father, who would always buy us, the sets every year from the U.S. Mint and give them to us for Christmas. And it kind of grew from there. My taste got really refined, and I wound up on IG one time, and someone suggested Tommy's Live, and that was the first live that I went to, and I've been hooked ever since. And then it's just kind of grown from that. Tommy and I got to talking one night about how many times like people have asked, about grading and who do they go to, and we all have our favorites. We know that there's the trifecta, the three that the trinity that people choose from, and basically we wanted to provide a service for the IG folks. And it started out with Tommy kind of being the head of it, and I was on the back, kind of the back end, answering questions, trying to get negotiated together and working together. And basically it spun out to where I just kind of took the lead and was branching off to just do my own stuff and provide that service to folks. It's been up and down. It's been a roller coaster for sure, which if anybody has ever tried to get anything graded, they know it is a roller coaster. It's not something for the faint of heart to jump into. You will be disappointed, and you will be extremely excited. It's both. You get both worlds. You can't expect everything to be perfect, but it's just fun to see what you turn in, what the experts would say, and you're adding protection, you're adding wealth. It is an investment type. I mean, I think it's very important for anybody that has that special item they want to keep safe. And if they just if they submit it, and there's so many different options through NGC to even special labels. Tommy, he's jumped into the world of special labels with his hashtag, first one ever, Silver Degenerates. And I mean, that's what we set. That's the pace that we're setting, and it's fast, and we're going to hit it hard. And hopefully, in the coming years, we all can branch out into special labels and get more attached with these companies. And I don't know, one day I have some plans, but we'll see how far it goes. But I think it would be great for the IG Silver Degenerates to start their own grading company. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It would be big. So, there's enough of us that, are willing to take the time and learn and become experts ourselves. Every single one of us critique ourselves hard. We're very, self-reliant, and we're very particular. So I think once we get that perfected, we get kind of a setup base, we could, the sky's the limit. So I think it's worth it. I think it's going to be a hell of a ride, and I think it's fun. I think we should all do it. And the man that started it is Tommy. So
Sean, I got a question from Rob. Wanted to know, he has a really good question. He's got the Marvel collection. Would it be worth getting graded for the future?
He has the whole collection?
He's got the whole collection.
Yes, I think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think any coin that is super popular, that's where it gets hard. Is you have to make sure each part of your set is meeting the standards of the others. So if you have one of those come back MS70, you're going to want MS70 on all those. If you happen to have a certain label, you're going to want the same label on all those. And every single thing that you turn into whatever company it is, they have certain rules that you have to follow. So, I got some examples here. Like, you can do certain special things like this. You want that label with, whatever it might be, or they come out with their own labels, that they give for certain types of coins. And again, when you can go to dealers, like that label right there, that's only through a dealer. You have to realize, and that's one thing that would be great to be one day, is have the manpower and the quantity, or I guess the amount of coins that you need to turn in to start your own label, which Tommy has done with the Silver Degenerate label. But back to that roundabout question, yes, I think it's worth it. I think if you are willing to keep them with you, it's definitely worth it. It's going to keep them safe, and and that capsule, it does everything. It does great things for you. It increases the value, like I said too. You're not gonna, no matter what, you're adding $30 to that bottom line, no matter what.
So another question that had come up, and this actually came up as I was posting and advertising, what's going on, just to kind of solicit some questions from individuals in regards to price points. I know me personally, the main reason I actually started grading is I did get the Marvel set, sent them all in with a handful of other items. I didn't care what grades I got back. I just wanted to kind of preserve those pieces because those were mine. And I wanted to hold on to them as the set grows. But what is the typical price point for gold and for silver? And can you grade platinum?
Yes. So when it comes to grading, one of the biggest things to look for is whether it has a monetary value to it. If it says, and I mean, it has to be a real one. So I know Tommy has went over in some of his lives, like some stuff that used to be a value. So you got francs, you got dollars, you got you got pounds. You have to make sure it is a denomination that is used in the world right now. Otherwise, you're kind of venturing into a different type of thing. There's metals as well and tokens, but we'll kind of keep those to the side. But
that's a whole separate YouTube video one day.
Huh?
That's a whole separate YouTube video one day.
It is, and it can be. In that that's hard. Those things are so hard to verify, and that's where their expertise really shines. The amount of knowledge that they have to find these tokens and metals and other things that just don't fit the normal criteria of being a denomination. Those are actually easy to them. But price point wise, your bottom line, your cheapest amount, silver is going to be at 18 to grade, and no matter what, every single form that you have, it has a handling fee on that form. So there's $10 right there. You also have a bunch of options about what type of case you want. There's different sizes. There's different thicknesses. And they are per coin. So you have to know that, okay, this coin is bigger than this. And they give the dimensions online, tell you, kind of help you through that to which one, this big old 3-ouncer has to go in a, oversized slab. And those are separated. Each slab is separated in a different price point, and they all add up. So you'll get used to it. Gold, like this little guy, let's see if I get in there. This little guy,
nice.
That was $30 to grade, and you can get for extra $5 per slab. You can get the resistance holder. Now I could do a YouTube video on that too. I don't think. In the beginning, I was like, "Yeah, do it." I sold by it, but I want to do a test one day. I want to take a hammer to some of these that I don't like and really, really see.
Are you nuts? What are you doing?
I'm crazy like that. So, you can see the difference. It's literally just an extra piece of like layer. So I really want to see how much it does it. And so, you got that cost option. One free thing, and we know that little guy did it. There you go. So this is free. Kevin Page collection. So that's a pedigree. We all know Kevin. Give him a senseless plug, but pedigrees are free. So anybody that has their own collection, they're like, I want my name on this, and it's kind of a special thing that they do. You can actually start your own collection. It's something that they do offer. Now, when you're diving into specialty slabs and specialty labels like Tommy's with the hashtag, there are criteria. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money, and you have to make sure that you have the product to put forward. You got to put it forward. So even to get a collection like that, they work all sorts of deals. When you're on the phone with them, they all know me very well because I call a lot with questions. And there's so many things that you can go over. There's every single little thing on the slab that you can get changed. If you talk to the right person and know the right people, you can get that taken care of. The cost also varies on how quickly you want it back. Now, with Charlie's, like yours, for instance, we did the modern, we did the lowest tier, right? And that's how they separate.
Where's my
Yeah, I know, right? They are in between here and Indy right now. That's all I know. So they're coming to me, and that's one thing that I do provide. I know we weren't going to touch in too much. I do sending submissions for folks if they ask me. Usually they better ask politely because I'm a full-time. I have a full-time job just like everyone else, and not everybody else, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time and effort to put that in, and some people are just scared of it at first. And I'm more than happy to answer questions on it. It does not bother me one bit to go through every little thing with any. There's no stupid question in my book. I don't believe that. So
one of the things I think people should know as well is you do have to be patient, especially when it comes to grading. People just think because I send them out, they get them right away. They get processed, they get reviewed, and they're shipped back right away. It is a time-sensitive project. So when you are grading, when you are looking to have things graded, be patient. Understand that it is a business. They probably get thousands of coins per week. I have seen the forums. I was a member of NGC Coins. I worked 2 jobs. I didn't want to deal with filling out forms, so I really appreciate Peg. He did all the legwork. So he charges a fee for his service of taking care of the coin from point A to point B, filling out all the labels. So we love Peg Leg. Sean, gotta ask you, why would someone get something graded?
It's something special to them. It really is something to. It's showing love to the coin. Like, I mean, you respect it when you look at it. Like for myself, like I look at all my coins over and just like I have a little glass to look through them at and make sure they're perfect and all that. And the best way to keep my stuff safe and protected, I think, was getting it certified. That's one thing NGC does. I mean, you can say that this was done by the U.S. Mint. It is gold. They consider it a perfect, T1 version of the, the family of the Eagles, old Eagles. So
right there, just want to make sure that I understand this clearly. Right there in your hand, you have a perfect coin.
Yes, according. So, all right. So, perfect. There are levels, and this is where it gets really, really. It's not just a 7. So people think it's just like you have 70 points, right? It's actually not just 70 points. There's actually multiple tiers to this. If they notice anything on the surface when they're looking at this coin, and they notice anything on the surface, it automatically goes to 69. Is the way I understand it. Now, the pluses and the stars. So there's a thing that they do where they kind of give you an in between, and that's where, you know, how big of a scratch is it? How big of a smudge? Is it a smudge? Is it a scratch? Is it something on the surface? Is it the mint air? Is it, you know, there's different levels to that. Now, there are some oddballs out there. Like, I've seen some mint airs at like 69 plus, and I don't understand it. Because, you know, if it's a mint air, that means it's not perfect. And I know I stepped in it when I said perfect, because what happens over time, even in these holders, no matter what holder it is, over time, if you subject that to some certain element like the sun or whatever, like weird temperatures or stuff, you know, there's microscopic, you know, it's a sealed thing, but there's, you know, it's going to have stuff get into it, and that can change over time. I mean, everyone's seen toned coins. Some people rave over them. I mean, it just depends what type of person you are. And that's another thing we could bring up. The different agencies or different groups that you go to like toned or don't like toned. And, you know, you can really diversify your collection by going to specific groups. PCGS, for instance, love them. They love their toners, and they love their picture quality that they take. So they go through and they do. That's another option you can have on all of them, is get your, like, they just do high def pictures and a profile for it, and it's actually proof of the coin too. So, you know, if something were to happen and you have to, you know, claim it on insurance or something, that is something you're going to have to provide. If you provide that, then you will get full monetary value of it, if you have the right insurance, of course. So.
Hey, everybody in the chat is saying, you know, you're giving out some really, really good information. You know, it's important. You know, we have these talks every so often. You know, I kind of, like I said, wanted to put something together a little more formal, just so people have that. They can always refer back to it. A lot of people seem to be loving the information. In regards to grading, I got the next set I want to send to you once I get mine back, my good friend.
That's awesome. Tell them about. We're gonna do an unboxing. I want to see the. I want to see the emotion, because you're gonna have some emotion.
Yeah, funny that you say that. And for those who don't know, I tried to be very patient with Pegleg. I know it's not him, but he's responsible for my stuff. No one can touch him because I represent them. So nobody can go after him if they're still waiting. All right, it is a long process, but I did promise him when I get that box back, I would not look at it. I will unbox it live. You guys can watch me and him go through it. He knows the grades. I don't. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. We're going to have a fun YouTube live when we go together. I look forward to doing that. It's going to be really fun.
I actually think I might have a big box for myself and some people too.
Don't you tell me the grades.
Myself.
Don't you tell me.
I'm not telling yours. You're gonna be doing your coins, and I'll do my coins. I already know what mine are, and I think I have some interesting things that are gonna pop up. And hopefully, I don't badmouth anybody.
Don't you mess this up. Don't you say my grades. Don't you do it.
I won't.
We waited approximately 2 months, so you gotta have some patience when you send the stuff out. The great thing is, if you send Sean something, and he'll take a really quick look at it and see, and hey, you know what, Charlie, maybe don't send this in. It's not worth it. I said, don't worry about it. Just send it in, because I wanted to grade them anyway. I'm new to the process, so I'm gonna listen to some subject matter.
Yeah, and I'm not a professional, and I don't take any stance on that. I'm not gonna. No one's gonna come at me and sue me. I don't have liability insurance. I'm not telling you what your coin's gonna be or whatever. I had one individual. We all know him, actually. He turned me in some stuff, and it was his first time, and they were absolute garbage. And that was just how he didn't know, Yeah. So
there is a learning process to it, and you bring up a good point where, I think we all try to look out and protect each other. I think for the most part, the 6 of us here, we definitely got each other's back. We will look out for the community as well. We will try to advise people, give advice. You should always do your due diligence. You should always do your homework.
Absolutely.
And expect that you may not hit a home run every single time. So when I first got mine graded with the Marvels, I loved it. I was like, boom, 70. If you check out my video, you'll see 70, 70, 70, 70. I got one MS69. and I almost lost it. I'm like, wait a second. Not every coin can be a perfect coin. Okay. So I'm going to take that one. I'm going to put it to the side. I may submit another to see if I get a 70. So, folks, make sure you follow each other. Make sure you follow Peg Leg. If you're interested in grading some coins, check them out. If you don't want to send anything to graded and you want to buy something slab, check out Delorean. He's the man. He knows what's coming up in the deals. We'll talk about when those come up because they're every Friday, right? Want to get in on those deals. So
Pay attention to who you're buying from.
And
You know?
it's very important to know where you get your stuff from. You don't want no fugazis, as we say in Brooklyn and New York. You don't want no fugazis.
The guy flipping, he's shuffling his coins on, hey, you want to get these graded?
Yep.
No.
You watch some of the, TV shows, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, you got all these, guys, selling you the moon. You want to make sure you get it from a legit source and let your friends and family know, hey, where is a good place to buy something that's from a reputable seller? You kind of see here, all of us got a lot of good positive energy, which brings me to my next person. Josh, a penny short. I appreciate you jumping in.
What's up, brother?
What is up, man? What's going on?
Chilling, man. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. I really appreciate you jumping in. I know that you were fighting a cold for a while. You weren't, doing too well. So
Yes,
I really appreciate you jumping in, man. Prayers to you and your family. I know a lot of stuff's going on. Man.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And anytime, love coming and chilling with the boys. Hope everybody's doing great. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
So I got to tell everybody, listen, I love Josh. Josh has always got a smile. You never see him without his smile, no matter where he is or what he's doing. And Josh is all over the place, man. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's on all the cool social media things the kids are doing these days. Josh, tell the people where you're from, how you got started collecting, and tell a little people about what you do for the groups, because I don't think too many people understand. You're kind of behind the scenes, but you're out on the forefront.
Yeah, well, basically, I've got Tommy's back in anything that he does, and I enjoy promotion, and so I am behind the scenes a lot as far as that. If there's anything that I can help him promote, I'm always there for him, and that goes both ways. If I was to, send him something, I'm sure he'd do the same for me. But as far as where I'm from and where I got started, I'm from St. Cloud, Florida. I currently live in Melbourne, Florida, close to Orlando, Florida, if you're not familiar. And I got started collecting coins because, honestly, I was trying to find a way to save some money. And that was the main step towards me, putting a little something away for the future. Not just the savings, but something for my kids, something for, my girlfriend's kids, something for long term. And I started getting into coins that way. And I first started with pennies, actually. And, that's why I'm a penny short, and it's brought me this far. So, I definitely don't regret it. It's my career now, is coins. So I love it.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask a little bit about that. It's in one of the next questions that I have, because I know that in the beginning, before you took that position, you were really, really coming in hot, helping assist with advertising. And that's really important. You have to have the right message coming from the right person.
Yes, sir.
You got to promote, the material. You got to promote the groups. I mean, I have a lot of fun.
Yep.
I make a lot of silly videos and stuff when I'm going back and forth to work. But you definitely live in that space and advertising for everybody. You got to know how to sell yourself.
I am in the middle of a job change. I started going towards more of a career and a passion, and people in the community had a lot to do with that. They actually had everything to do with that. The community helped me pave this road. If anything, I can, be thankful for that. That's above all, because I'm actually absolutely passionate about it. But it has brought me off of Instagram for the last few months, and some personal things that are going on. But it's definitely, the Instagram community has created a new life for me. Absolutely. So I have been brought back with my new career and everything that I'm starting now, but I'm not gone, and I'll be getting back once I get on my feet a little better. For sure.
Nice. You know, we love you, man. You always got a smile. You always bring the positive vibes. How do you maintain? And I think this is important as well. I know we're going to focus on coins and slabs and gold and silver, but I think one of the other precious things we need to remember in life is to have a positive vibe and also have a good work-life balance. How do you stay positive? What tips would you give people?
If you got to do something you enjoy. The community is awesome. When you get in the community, you start associating with Tommy. Tommy's if I was to look up to anybody in the community and try to act like somebody, why not be Tommy? Tommy's always happy. You know what I mean? It works for him. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm just acting like Tommy, but that's the attitude you need to have in order to create community, and that's what he's done, and that's why we're all here, you know. So I think attitude and just being happy, and I love coins. I'm excited about coins. I can talk about coins all day long. So when I do a video about coin, it comes easy because I'm talking to you guys just like I'm talking to my friends down the street or talking to anybody that I'm like, look, man, this stuff is awesome. If you just get into it, it benefits you a lifetime. It can benefit your entire life. It's if nothing else, it's the funnest way you could save money, and that's the great thing.
I kind of asked everybody else, what's one of your favorite pieces? What's one of the things that you could not live without? What's one of your favorite pieces that you currently have?
Well, my favorite design above all else, and it goes back to how I got started in the hobby, is the reverse proof penny. Now, they did one in 2018, and I believe they did one in 2019 or 2020, but there's only a couple pennies that had the reverse proof design, and the wheat penny, the Indian head penny, the flying eagle cents, those are my favorite coins. Above all else, above the bullion stacking and the American Eagles, when I go to my heart, that's where my heart lies. So my favorite design above all else is the 2018 reverse proof penny.
Nice. I like those flying eagles. I started a set, and I've also started the Indian head set. I found out very quickly that is a expensive hobby, but beautiful coins.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I mean, some of them old pennies get real expensive. Some of my pennies are worth way more than your gold. You know what I mean? It just depends on the buyer. You gotta you gotta find a buyer that wants to buy $1,000 penny from you, and you know what I mean. So.
Yep.
And you should grade them to keep them.
And then you should grade them.
Absolutely.
Do all that stuff. Absolutely, guys.
When we all did a little joint submission with Peg and Tommy, that I think it was the first time they did it.
Yeah.
I submitted pennies. That's what I submitted because I wanted some of my oldest coins in my collection that I bought. That I was like, man, I think this is a great deal. That was how I got started, going to coin shows and looking for a $5 penny that I thought was a $10 penny. Sometimes I'd buy a $5 penny and find out it was a $500 penny, and that's what started me in becoming a penny short. And I actually had Tommy grade a couple of those coins for me. It was awesome. They're still in my collection.
The great thing about numismatics as well is a lot of times it's history you can hold in your hands. Like
Yes.
I know they're nothing crazy, but I like the steel pennies just because of the history within that piece.
Yeah. And that just goes with numismatic. I like to say there's so much room for both worlds. You've got the stacking world. Everybody wants a little bit of something that if anything happens, I've got this, load of silver and gold that I can fall back on. But on the other hand, where are you going to sell a $1,000 penny if the lights go out? You know what I mean? You got to be quick with that. So it's always good to have both and diversify and everything. That's key. Numismatics is awesome, but stacking, I've got a whole, you want to keep whatever you like, but both of it is always fun.
Absolutely.
Hey, can I interrupt real quick?
You never interrupt, man. The floor is yours, my friend.
I have to jump off. I have to jump off. I have my bingo game not too long.
No problem. Folks who watching, make sure you follow Delorean's Got Fun Bingo. Where? Right
Yeah.
there. There we go.
It was a nice time talking with you guys, sitting here answering questions and everything. And I was trying to stay a little longer, but I have to go.
Not a problem,
This is
DeLorean.
this is my Instagram. If you see this, you find me. Delorean underscore senior underscore.
Awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. You all have a good evening, and I will catch you guys on Instagram.
All
Later,
right.
man.
Love you, DeLorean.
We love you,
Have a good
DeLorean.
one.
I'll talk a little bit about the Gold Club. We're coming to our last guest of the evening. I think you know who it is. You kind of seen him lingering in the bottom screen hanging out over there, but some beautiful 1/10 gold pieces. Beautiful eagle. I also have one of my favorites. I love it in silver. I definitely love it in gold. The Britannia 1/10. Also have a couple of maples. Some of my favorite pieces. I didn't have enough money. I was broke. I couldn't afford an ounce of gold like most of us. But little by little, gram by gram, ounce by ounce, we can get there and we can do it together. Which brings us to our last guest of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you don't know him, where have you been? Mr. Tommy, Stacking NYC. Everybody knows him as the commissioner. I know him as my dear friend. Tommy, Stacking NYC. How are
What's
you?
up, Tommy?
Dear friend, indeed, my brother. I want to start off by saying, when I came up with the Silver Degenerates hashtag, it was built on principles, and many of those principles are evident in this room. Collaboration, hard work, like you said, stacking gram by gram, dollar cost averaging, doing all these things. And I want to start by thanking everybody in here who's been by my side to help support the community and the community's ability to stack in creative ways. Because that's what we have the power to do on social media. Is we can stack anywhere. We can go click buy it now on a half a dozen websites in 2 minutes, but you'll never have the engagement, the interaction, the social aspect of what we all have here on Instagram, on YouTube, and it becomes an amazing process. So first of all, thank you all. And Pegleg definitely has the toughest job with grading. It is not. I dumped that right in his lap.
But,
I did it a couple times, and I said, "No, Moss, I am tapping out."
Tommy, got a good question from Stacking ATL. Wants to know what's a good way to build more trust on Instagram in reference to be able to buy, sell, trade, etc. Good question.
Whatever you're doing, slow and steady will win the race. Always start deal by deal, build up, build up, build up. Make sure that you are keeping your word. We are all human, we all err, but it's important to keep your word, and it's important to have a consistent track record. People can be forgiving, if you're a day late or this or that from what you said, people will be forgiving. But when that becomes the rule, then you're going to have problems. When you consistently build a reputation as doing what you say, you'll be building a reputation that you'll be able to expand upon.
I totally agree.
And I think this community has an incredible amount of room to grow.
Yeah, I kind of jump in this one for a second. Rob, really good question. You want to be part of the Gold Club? If you want to be part of it, no problem. All you got to do is hit us up on Instagram. We will add you to the groups. Don't be scared. Don't go out of your budget either. Know what you can do. Know when you can do it. Me personally, I started small, gram by gram, then to 5 gram, then to 1/10. I got my first quarter ounce piece. Loved it. So know where you stand, what you can do, what is within your budget.
So this was our most recent, as Charlie will tell you, our most recent Gold Club release. It's the 2022 1/10 Lunar 3 Tiger from the Perth Mint. I am a fan of fractional metals. My theory is that if you believe that metals are going to go up and up and up, then you need to realize that you need to have smaller and smaller denominations to maintain the same liquidity. Things that we love about metals, we hold it, we own it, but it's extremely liquid.
Very true.
I like the music.
Nice, casual, jazzy. So a lot of people wanted to know, because I think the majority of people know you already. Auctions Monday night, steady, consistent for the past 3 years. And you also do Wednesdays as well. So people know you mostly from the auctions. But now, as we've grown over the year, we're getting busier and busier and busier, spreading the news, spreading out information throughout multiple clubs now. How did you find that process to be beneficial to you? Was it easy in the beginning?
Well, first of all, the whole concept of the clubs was sort of a hybrid idea. You came up with this idea, said, Tommy, I got a bunch of guys that want to buy 1/10 gold a month. And, you formed a chat. And that's when it dawned on me. And I sort of took it to a different level, but it was really inspired by you, Charlie, all the clubs. And I realized by clustering people who have purchasing habits into group chats, that it creates a really easy format. The music's pretty loud on my end.
I'll turn it down for you.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep talking or start singing.
As long as you don't start dancing, we're good.
Yeah. Trust me, you don't want that. But you came to me with this idea. I realized something that, Instagram is sort of the wild, wild west. There are no moderators. There are no rules beyond Instagram itself. But if you go to Facebook or Reddit, you have forums or different groups that are run by admins of like-minded people who have the same purchasing habits. And I realized that these group chats were a way to do something like that. So now, like you said, we have 16 rooms with about 30 people for the Gold Club, all people who want to buy gold. It becomes very easy for me to manage. And that's why I'm able to give like a little bit of a discount, right? And keep the margins very tight. Because I think our record is we sold like 18 ounces in one day, in 1/10. We sold 180 kookaburras.
Now, has that changed your relationship with the dealer and the community, have you found? I would think, just from some of the advertising we've done, I know we've purchased a lot more of different types of things. But has that also helped you on the dealer side, purchasing from them?
Yes and no. The thing is, like, my margins are really small on the clubs. So I really try to keep it tight to move more volume. Mm-hmm. So it's not really creating that much more purchasing power beyond what it is, right? And they're happy. They're happy, and they'll sometimes shave $1 on a piece for me or something. When I sold 180 kooks, I think he took an extra $1 off.
And that helps the community.
And it's good for everybody. Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that, I always bounce it off you. I'm like, what are the best prices you've seen on these? And and I always try to beat it by $1 or $2. Yep. It's not always easy. Gold is probably the easiest for me in terms of variety and so on. Slab is hit or miss, but with the Silver Degenerates branded slab, it lets me get some really cool pieces. This is a history-making piece. It's the first time an institutional company in the metals world has recognized the social media movement. What we're all doing here, the way we stack. Platinum is tough. Platinum is definitely tough. Jake has a tough job there too.
Yeah, a question actually came up segue right into it. How has the integration of gold and platinum changed your business model? I know you focused mainly on silver back in the day.
Yes. Well, two things occurred to me when I get asked that question is number one, I am a silver bull, first and foremost. I don't keep much platinum or gold in my possession. A little bit. I do like some of the pieces. I really do like the Tiger, for example. I like the Ox that we did that one time, the Bounty. There's some really beautiful gold pieces that you just can't duplicate outside of gold. But beyond that, I am really predominantly a silver bull. However, I do believe in diversification, right? And I know that 90% of the people in our community believe in diversification. So it would be a disservice for me in an amazing community like this if I didn't offer more of what people wanted. And it's also a lesson I learned from my dealer. He said, Tommy, he said, one of the reasons we've been successful for the last 50 years, and we haven't been pushed out by companies like AppMex AppMex is great, by the way. That wasn't disparaging. But one of the reasons we haven't been pushed out when other companies have been is because we have such a wide array of products. There are times when maybe silver's down, but the numismatic market is up. Maybe gold is up and platinum is down. He said, when we have a little bit of everything, we've always got a place to fill that void and sell more of what's hot and kind of just be patient with what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And patience is key in what we do, guys. You cannot, slow and steady wins the race. I'll say it 1,000 times over.
I totally agree. I mean, I started small with silver. I really didn't know much about anything else. So you ask questions, and even if you know the answer, it's always a good idea just to figure stuff out. Jake's got a great piece there. He's showing off. I'm going to get that. I'm going to take that right out of his hand, actually. I love these.
And Jake runs some really great games. He's doing a lot of fun stuff, that brings entertainment. And I like to say, support the content creators. And you got some people who are really hustling, on this chat tonight. Everything's about, one of the big Silver Degenerates tenets is about collaboration. And that's really what we're ultimately all doing here, and I'm reminded of this every waking minute. My hat comes from Oklahoma. This actually came from Jake in Michigan. Very talented man. My shirt from California. And I'm constantly reminded about the beauty of this community. And all of you guys, Florida, New York, Michigan, Indiana, it's crazy.
I love it. The beauty of this community. That's our new tagline. The beauty of this community is a wonderful thing. I don't have them with me because I actually gave them out as gifts, but Jake hooked me up on some beautiful woodworking gifts this past holiday. I got some stuff made for my father, some beer coasters, which were really cool. I was trying to work on some custom holders just for the groups, but wasn't the perfect fit for the place. A lot of good comments. So folks, if you have any questions or concerns, things you want to know, things you're not sure of, maybe something that you know but you want a better answer, feel free, put it in the chat.
The answer is sometimes, Dean Ellis. So just like with dollar cost averaging from a buyer's perspective, and I talked about this a little bit in my auction last night, just like a buyer should be dollar cost averaging, buying high, buying low, just buy steady, right? Don't splurge and then not spend. That's what gets you jammed up. When you're spending a fixed amount or close to a fixed amount, we all want to splurge sometimes, but when you're spending close to a fixed amount every week, your stack will balance out in terms of dollars for the weight. It works the same way for sellers. If silver's at $30 an ounce, I might buy a couple hundred ounces that week. If silver drops, I'm going to buy a couple hundred ounces that week. I'm not going to blow, I'm not going to buy quadruple because silver drops, because the next week it might drop again. And then I'm in trouble, right? So the consistency is what protects you. So in terms of that, spot price matters a little bit less.
I agree. I personally, and I don't tell anybody else what to do with their money because it's your hard-earned fiat cash. But I will set a number in my head each week. I will say I'm going to put aside $200 for metals, whatever I can get that week that I like at $200. But then I see in the auctions and my wallet beats me up and says, let me get that, and that, which is fine.
How much do you gamble every week?
Well, every minute I get, my good friend.
No such thing. No illegal activity.
When you're coming into the community, I know a few people have kind of mentioned this already. We should always be looking out for the next person. Some people may not know where to start. So Tommy, what would you recommend if someone wanted to get in the game, maybe purchase something as a piece of gold, a piece of platinum, or a slab? What would you recommend?
For me, I was always attracted to variety. I started out mostly with government bullion, buying beautiful pieces of art, history, culture from around the world, and that got me looking further. I think that government bullion is always a safe bet. In North America, your Libertads, your Maples, your Eagles, particularly Eagles, always a safe start here in North America.
Absolutely. Folks, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I will bring them up as we go through it. I'm kind of moderating. I got to look down at that screen. I got to look up at that screen. I got to look there for the dog. I'm keeping all eyes out. We're keeping eyes out for all of you folks. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. We will get them in there. So we heard a lot of really good information. Slab Club, Platinum Club, Gold Club. If you are interested in those clubs, you can contact any of us on Instagram. You know our names and our tags. We have them in the videos, and I'll leave it in the description so you can reach out to us later. Typically what we do is every Friday, we will do a deal early in the morning on the East Coast time, usually between 9, 10, 11 o'clock. We'll put the item in there. Go have at it, all right? But there's no obligation to buy. So there's strength in numbers come together. Maybe one week you get a piece of silver from the auction. Maybe the next week, buy a small piece of gold. Maybe the next week after that, get a slab. Then get a piece of platinum. Diversify your stack. There's a lot of really good stuff out there. You can't buy it all unless you hit the lotto. You know, you want to gamble and do that, that's fine. But dollar cost average, know what you can budget. I love
Know
it.
what to work too.
Moderation.
What is moderation?
It is what it is. Well, listen, we have to be conscious of moderation because that's one of the places the whole silver degenerates term came from. Many of us, and I'm including myself, can be impulsive. We see it, we like it, we buy it, and sometimes that causes us to overspend a little bit. And it's something that we all have to check. You know.
Absolutely. Guys, I'm going to open it up to all of you on the panel here. Sean, Jake, Josh, Tommy. Really appreciate all you guys jumping in. We got a couple of questions coming in, it looks like. Any final comments that you guys want to add as we go through the last portion of this evening? And one at a time, fellas. Don't be jumping over each other.
I think it's important to research what you're collecting too. Like everyone knows what I collect. I mean the sellers do. Know what it's worth. If you know that one eagle's worth more than another, that kind of throws your whole spot price out the window. It doesn't really matter as of that point. So you got to know where you're at and where you fall in those type of coins. Because it's going to look kind of silly going in and expecting, to get Eagle for $22. It's not going to happen. You got to know what a premium is, and all these things are discussed in all these lives that we do. I know it's always discussed. So I think that's important. I mean, obviously dollar cost averaging is important, but I think knowing where the collection or whatever you're looking for, if it's a specific type, know where it falls on that. Because you might not be able to do anything. You may be able to do one coin this month because it's that coin, So,
Sean, you can speak to this too, but one of the things they say about buying numismatics or graded coins in particular is buy the best coin you can afford. If you can afford the MS-70, get it.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
If you can't, then that's fine. Go with the MS-69. There's nothing wrong with it.
Because you never know what day someone's hoard will go up in flames. Right. that happens. So I mean, those look at Morgan's.
If you were to put it in a perspective, a 1986 Silver Eagle Raw was only about $40, but a 1986 Silver Eagle on the MS-70 is gonna run you a whole lot more. And if it's signed or any kind of special label, it goes into the thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And, it's funny about knowing what you got, and I almost fell victim to this, and I just spoke on it. I recently got the 1/10 Kookaburra. I had it right next to all my silver, which I just got because I keep things nice and neat and organized. I almost put it in my silver pile, so gotta pay attention to detail. Very important. Beautiful.
Scratch a P in there, man. Just
It's there.
Let me get the
It's
knife.
on it.
It's on there.
I'm
P's on there. For Perth. I think that P stands for Perth, but that's okay.
Yeah. So, I have a video that talks a little bit about supplies. You want to protect your pieces. You don't always have to get things graded to protect them, but you do want to get flips. They do make special cases for certain things. I got a good example right here, the Britannia. I
I want
these.
to hiss at you right now. Like a kid.
Don't do it. Jake, any closing comments?
After trying to mic on, like Tommy, keeps saying, guys, stack your own pace. I start at the 1 gram, like you, Charlie. Start the 1 gram. I work my way up to the 1/4. So stack your own pace. Add when you can. Like Tommy just said, buy what you can. If you can go big, go big. It's completely up to you and what your goal is. So
absolutely, Josh. Any closing remarks?
It's always better with friends.
That's true. Absolutely.
Collecting,
That was our bar design, right, Charlie?
collecting is so much funner on social media. It really is. I was always a collector, but because of Instagram, now I'm a stacker as well. I just think just being able to enjoy it with other people is what makes the hobby thrive, and that's why social media is so positive for the hobby.
Yeah, and it's funny too. You talk about friendships, and a lot of us live on the same coast. Some of us totally across country and across the world. A lot of good friendships have been formed here. And I was joking around. I sent something earlier. 2 years ago today, I got to hang out with Tommy and Theo and MK Bars and some people. We had a good time. We had a good meetup. People get to know each other. Another good friendship I made. I'm going to just kind of showcase a little something right here from Strength, Unity, and Jules. I am not a jewelry person, but I do love my dragons. She made a beautiful, beautiful piece for me, and I'm hooked. I've actually just purchased 3 more different things. Support each other because there's a lot of cool people out there anyway. Don't give your money, to all of those crazy rich folks, with the clothing. We got people in-house that make stuff for us, by us.
Yeah.
We're all representing, the Stacking NYC stuff. And Tommy, it's funny. The white hat just got delivered. Special delivery just came downstairs.
There you go.
So I got my hat. Got my special hat. Appreciate it. Folks, all jokes aside, I love the crew here. They're good. I know Delorean had to jump off early. So special shout out to Delorean. We love you. Guys, just keep each other in your prayers. Look out for each other. Check in on one another. See what people are up to. I bug these guys all week long, all day long. Here's a countdown. 12 hours we're going. 1 hour we're going. So everybody is pretty much open to helping each other out. All you got to do is ask. It may not always work. A lot of times it will. Sometimes, there's some scheduling conflicts. We all got real world jobs we got to handle. But for the most part, everybody does look out for each other. Let me know what topics you want to see or hear about. One of the main reasons I put this YouTube page together, just bring different topics, ideas, coins, get to know the community. The next video that I'm working on, we're going to have one of the greatest people who love their Morgan dollar coins, Mr. Mooney Tucker. I'm going to get him on my show.
Look at that.
Morgan dollars. I think he was there when they made the first one at the first mint. We love Mooney Tucker. Can't wait to have him. Pops. There we go. Sean is representing the hat. Mine is on the way. Folks, as always, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Helps with all of the crazy YouTube algorithm, Instagram things. Even on social media, use those hashtags. That helps with the searches. It keeps things, up there in the rankings. I love it. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Mike Chase wants to know, I guess, from all of us, what's your favorite socks? That's a good one.
Avocado socks that were present from the crew MK Bars and Bullion Australia. Ed Denny and oh God, I'm having a moment now. But the two guys in Australia, dear friends, met in Vegas, and he sent me socks.
Nice.
And they, like, have avocados on it. I was like, oh my god.
Surprised you had to answer.
Carhartt.
We're gonna have to get special silver degenerate socks now. Represent from head to toe. Guys, appreciate all of you jumping in. I know I bugged you enough all week long, all month long, all day long. Appreciate we got to spend, an hour and somewhat talking coins, talking shop, doing the things we all love to do because we are all very passionate about this hobby. For everybody tuning in, we appreciate you as well. If you want to know something, feel free to ask. Drop it in the comments. We will definitely get back to you. The people are asking, they want peg leg socks. So I guess we're going to have to start a sock company now.
This is going in a bad direction. Time to end it.
Yeah. On that happy note, we don't want any knee-high socks. And you got to be careful with the Brooklyn accent of what might I say.
I think I can make peg leg socks.
We'll get some peg leg socks going.
I think I can do that.
All
Hey,
right.
you get working on that. You get them graded. Everybody else, have a good evening. Thank you all for tuning in.
Love you guys.
Brooklyn Way.
Peace.
How you
See you
stack?
guys. Great night.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night.